Aquarius, hello and happy holidays to you. This is your December 5 card tarot card overall energy reading for the month of December 2020. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving and everyone's doing well. And again, wish you a wonderful and happy holiday season this December. Um, this is a general reading for the larger collective of Aquarius and is intended for informational purposes. The information may not resonate with all Aquariuses, and that's totally understandable. Please accept what fits and let the rest go if it doesn't fit for you. It's a general reading. To save time, I already shuffled the cards and requested the universal guidance. The cards selected were ejected on their own during the shuffle. The 5 cards that exited during the shuffle for this overall energy rating for the month of December 2020 are listed right here. The first card here represents your overall energy for past influences. This is significant energy within the last few months for the overall collective of Aquarians. In some cases, the issues may have resolved, and others may still be lingering. The second card here represents the overall energy during the present time. This is the present energy for the overall collective of Aquarians for this month of December 2020. The third card here represents overall energy for any future challenges. These are things that are on the cusp, things that may be coming around the corner or you might be currently experiencing right now as well. The fourth card here represents the overall energy for any challenges. So these are challenges that may present themselves during this time frame. Keep in mind that the challenges do not imply anything negative. They are provided simply as information. In most cases, though, you're usually presented with some sort of choices with a decision to make, and of course, you make that decision with your own free will. And finally, the fifth card here represents the overall outcome energies for this time period for the month of December for, again, the overall collective of Aquarians. Before we begin, I want to thank you, everybody, for your support and for watching this video. And real quick, if you'd like to support this channel, I would definitely appreciate it. And in order to do so, I call it the big three. It's click on like the video, click on subscribe to this channel, and click on the notification button. This is vitally important, mainly for YouTube algorithms, and in order for YouTube to broaden the scope and push out the channels to a larger audience, they require these 3 algorithms, which is like the videos, subscribe to the channels, and click the notification buttons. If you've already done so, thank you so very much. It's gratefully appreciated. If you haven't, please consider doing so. I would appreciate it. Keep in mind that you're not going to receive junk mail or anything else. You'll just notice a little click in your bottom of your YouTube. It has notifications like 1, 2, 3, 4, just to show you that there's new things posted, but you're not going to be bombarded with all kinds of stuff. This is really just to help the YouTube algorithms in order to market and push channels out to wider audiences. So that's about it. Again, if you feel so inclined, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, let's get started. In our first card here, Aquarians, we have the Ten of Cups. Now, okay, angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why this Ten of Cups is here for our Aquarians and their past influences during this time frame, please. Well, Aquarians, the Ten of Cups typically is considered a happy family card. It typically suggests that your family relationships are in harmony, and there typically is love being shown. It typically shows that there's no one fighting or cause for tension. All family members are getting along with each other, and there's a sharing of love, and it's a happiness that surrounds you, Aquarius. This card is appearing, I think, Aquarians, that I'm picking up really is because either you have or you were, since it's past influences, you were getting in touch with your family, either spending time with family or at least perhaps planning activities or having contact with family via phone or technology. Some of this could have been planning around, just reunions that were coming up, special events, holidays, of course. And the idea was, basically how you could rest and sort of relax together as a family. Your intention was for fun activities and family activities and good memories and strong bonds. Keep in mind that COVID-19, of course, has strained in some cases, but I think this has also allowed an opportunity for you Aquarians to be creative in how you maintain that family contact, that bond, which is critically important. The overall message I'm picking up here for many Aquarians is that during your past influences in the past few months, many of you were experiencing some sort of happiness and joy and this emotional sort of contentment. This was resonating particularly I'm picking up the energy for relationship issues and family. Those are the two that I'm picking up. There was love and happiness that was experienced, and I feel like I'm picking up the energy that many Aquarians were able to, in wanting to share this sort of love and expanding even your heart to its fullest. It was just opening up, and the overall feeling of feeling good. And this was a feeling of being either surrounded or having contact with your loved ones and family, whoever you consider family. And it was about sort of sharing a deep connection and appreciation and support for one another. This was especially meaningful for Aquarians, for at least some Aquarians. And you felt a lot of joy for seeing your loved ones succeed and being happy and healthy. In general, the Ten of Cups here is a positive card also for romantic relationships. And I'm picking up that, for some Aquarians, you were able to, or if you were engaged in a relationship, it brought about a little bit more meaning, and there was a sense of more commitment. If you were in an early relationship that was non-marriage, there was, for some, I'm sensing that there was a sense of engagement or marriage or starting a family. It was about sharing in that connection, that I'm picking up that energy. There was a connection, and perhaps even for some, there was the feeling that you met your soulmate on a deeper level. Aquarians, I'm picking up mainly the message, the energy I'm picking up for your past influences in the past few months is many of you Aquarians were feeling this sense of wholeness. There was a feeling of completion, and that you felt aligned in your relationships with your others. There was a feeling of sort of peace and harmony, and again, that there's this overall sense of love that you wanted, and ideally that you would always wish for. With this, the universe asked you, and hopefully you were able to do this, was to take that step back and appreciate everything that you've accomplished during this time. This is a life connection, and in following a higher level of trust and understanding and using your intuition. In your past influences with the Ten of Cups there, it was encouraging you, or encouraging many Aquarians, to follow your heart and to trust that intuition, and picking up that it led you to opportunities that really were intended to align you with your highest good. And these include, how you interpreted things, your feelings, your emotions. Those all were things that sort of guided you in how you related with others and how you made decisions. I'm also feeling that, for some of you, you were sort of discerning that if something didn't feel right, you did less of it. You allowed your sort of inner guidance to lead you the way. And some Aquarians even sought out opportunities to fulfill yourself with topics or projects or any sort of activity that enhanced your personal values, and that was important to you. And again, it was this overall feeling of happiness and joy that was really the main energy I'm picking up from many Aquarians and their past influences, and particularly in the past few months. The Ten of Cups is a very good card. In your present energy, Aquarians, you have the Ace of Cups. However, the Ace of Cups is in reverse here. So, angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the Ace of Cups is in reverse for our Aquarians during their current present energy during this time, please. Well, Aquarians, with the Ace of Cups being in reverse, this is a sign basically that's the message I'm getting is that you're in connection, with your subconscious, and you're being attuned to your intuition, and it's a follow-up basically from your past influences. I'm picking up that for many Aquarians, you're sort of exploring this part of yourself privately right now. It's sort of a self-discovery period, and you're using a lot more intuition and allowing things to sort of flow into your life that have meaning. You know, with the reversed Ace of Cups flowing in your present energy, Aquarians, this typically speaks to really love for self. In your prior past influences, there was a lot of love for other people, and right now, in this present energy I'm picking up for many Aquarians, you're really sort of looking at your self-love, your self-understanding, your self-appreciation, um, because you're realizing that if you're filling up with every cell of your body with love and happiness, the more you do this, the more you're going to flow with that energy to others, and you see sort of the full circle of the importance of, I'm going to say, the laws of attraction. If you love yourself, you'll love others, um, or better equipped to love others. Um, for some, though, I'm also picking up, Aquarians, that there's an energy here, but the Ace of Cups in reverse is a sign that some Aquarians may be repressing their emotions and not wanting to express yourself fully to the outside world. This is just the opposite. Um, I'm picking up that if this is applying for some Aquarians, this energy here in your present energy for the month of December is because you're choosing to keep this to yourself, and not wanting others to know. And this is the energy I'm picking up is either because you're feeling embarrassed or you're afraid what might happen if you were to express your emotions. I'm picking up there's a lot of self-worry that if you allow yourself to express your feelings, that how others may respond or react. There's sort of this internal fear. Um, I think for Aquarians, if you're feeling this fear or doubt to express your feelings, um, particularly if you're feeling that the emotions might overwhelm you, and you won't know how to turn them off. Um, the universe here with this card here is encouraging you to be careful, and be careful that you don't create sort of an internal blockage and repress how you're feeling. Even if you're not ready to share your emotions, understand that that's totally okay. However, what the universe would like you to know, Aquarians, if this is affecting you, is that you can find other ways to release them privately, and that's through journaling, creative projects, movement. Even if you have to scream in a pillow or scream in the shower or anger out in the car, and sometimes it's okay just to express your emotions to yourself. But there are other ways to sort of to do it, and writing out things or is a good way to have that outlet. What the universe wants you to know is that you don't want to oppress these feelings. It's okay to keep them to yourself, but you don't want to hold on to them because it's going to eat you up, and it's going to take you in a different direction than you intended. And you want to get to this place of love where you want to be, and you have every inclination to get there if you just express these emotions, even if it's to yourself. I'm also picking up here for many Aquarians the energy that it's for relationships. Um, the reverse Ace of Cups here is telling me that um, you know some of you are withholding your emotions with your loved one because there's a fear of getting hurt for some reason. Either the relationship has uh, uh, went went further than what you thought, and you're feeling good about that relationship going further. However, as you get closer to somebody, you also realize that your fear of getting hurt is getting more real, and perhaps from past experiences. Um, the universe is saying right now to you in this message, if that's affecting you, Aquarians, is that you must trust your partner for the relationship to move forward. Um, but you know, but right now, if you feel the time to hold back on those things, it's okay. The universe is okay with this, but the universe is going to encourage you at some point. You need to trust, and you need to uh, express yourself to your partner, particularly if you feel there's a close connection there. It's vital, and you'll feel much better, and it will be a good release for you. In your future energies for this time period, we have the Three of Swords. Angel and Spirit Guides, please help us understand why the Three of Swords here is in Aquarians' future energies during this time frame, please. Well, of interest, for the Aquarians who are sort of withholding their emotions, which was in their present energy, your future energies here, with this card showing up, the Three of Swords is about an emotional release. So this is encouraging you to express yourself. For some Aquarians, if you suffered sort of a major setback or a loss recently, this is an excellent time to have a good cry. Expressing your sadness is a part of the cleansing process, and letting it out will help you move on to better times. This is about allowing yourself to experience these emotions, no matter how painful they are, Aquarians. So much like your present energy for those Aquarians in there, this energy in your future is basically encouraging you to have that cry, to have that shout, to have that scream at the top of your lungs. Do whatever you can to express this anger and or pain that you're having, and allow that emotion to flow through and out of you. It is an important process for you, Aquarians. And having this card here in your future readings is encouraging you to process it, and you'll feel better. Because I'm picking up here that with the Three of Swords here in your future energy, the energy I'm picking up for some Aquarians is that it's signaling that some of you were deeply hurt or disappointed by something. And this was a deep hurt. It could have been either through hurtful words or actions or intentions. But however it was, your Aquarians were feeling this intense emotion. It was a pain, sadness, and grief, and even a heartbreak. Often I think in some cases I'm picking up this hurt was either unexpected or came out of the blue for some of you, which made it any more painful. But again, the Three of Swords is about an emotional release. So this card here, the universe is encouraging you to not hold on to that feeling and to find a way to let it out. Even if you do not share it with others, you need to find it in a way to get it out of your system, Aquarians. It is for the best, and the universe is encouraging you to do such. I'm picking up also that for Aquarians, if you're wanting to continue sort of that love and that hopefulness and joy that you were feeling, but you're sort of having these repressed feelings or these urgent feelings right now, if you don't deal with them, what you're going to find here is you're going to become so absorbed in these emotions that they're going to be swirling around you, and in most cases you're going to lose sight of what you were working towards. And so what the universe is really suggesting to you and encouraging you to, if you are one of those that are feeling hanging on to these hurts or this emotion, is to just let it go and to move on. I know it sounds easier said than done, but just release the pain, release the sadness, release the anger, and let it go. Because Aquarians, if you stay locked on the damage or the hurt or the anger, you're not going to find it. You're going to find it very difficult to recover, and it's going to affect everything around you in one way or the other. So this card here, the Three of Swords, is encouraging you to accept what happened and move forward in your life. I'm picking up the universe is basically saying that you will benefit from this. Learn from it. That's the lesson, is learn from what this hurt was, learn from this anger and this experience. But let it go is the message I'm getting. Keep in mind, Aquarians, I'm also picking up the Three of Swords here in your future energies as a reminder that pain, sorrow, and grief is a necessary part of life. And you have to experience it. Because Aquarians, without pain, you would never experience the challenges that you need to grow and develop as a person. And understand that every hardship that we have creates discomfort. And in many cases, that discomfort turns into opportunities, and it allows you to become stronger. It allows us to learn from our mistakes, and it can create a change in our life that makes it for the better. It all depends on how we want to look at it. So, while the pain here may cloud your vision for a little bit, or even currently now, it will eventually bring clarity and enable you to put the past behind you. this card here in the universe is wanting you to see this experience, this pain that you're experiencing, or this anger or frustration as a learning opportunity. If you turn it around and see this and process this as a learning opportunity, you will fare much better. Keep in mind, Aquarians, that for those, since this is the major energy I'm picking up here, the good news that this painful season, this anger and frustration is going to pass. It is short terms. Because while the Three of Swords, brings sadness and hurt, it's only temporary. It's encouraging you, and the universe wants you to know that this you will bounce back. The clouds are going to dissipate. And as soon as you have a better perspective on what you can learn from this painful experience, you're going to conquer the pain that comes your way. All it does is take faith. It takes self-love, and it takes forgiveness, and it takes time. But you will recover from it, and you will be stronger. The Three of Swords here, Aquarians, arrives when you are taking other words to heart. So keep in mind that you may be more prone to negative contact or feedback from people or comments. There may be workplace bullies or spiteful strangers or even relatives, and it may be closer to home. Even with those that you love may be saying hurtful words to you. Just remember, Aquarians, that you do not have to accept their words as truth. These people who give this sort of negativity towards you, just understand that it's another person's opinion, and sometimes it's just a projection of their own inner fears and their own anxieties. What would help you with here, and what the universe wants to help you, Aquarians, is for you to be able to shift that negativity, shift that energy that you may be receiving by looking at these people with a compassionate heart. And whatever struggles they're going through, that they feel the need to throw their insecurities at you, be mindful. Why are their words triggering you? That's the other thing to look at, and that's the other learning lesson. So if there's again some sort of profound truth in what they've been saying, you might not be willing to see it yet. So that's the learning lesson in here. Use these pain points to expand your perspective, and to see the bigger picture of what's happening here, and it'll be a wonderful learning experience that you will grow from. And that's the message that the universe wants you to have. In our challenging energies, we have the Eight of Swords. Wow, you have a Swords cards here. Angel and Spirit Guides, please help us understand for our Aquarians why the Eight of Swords is in their future energies during this time period, please. Well, there's an energy sort of comparables here, I guess, that I'm seeing, and it all has to do with feelings and sort of this sort of negative thoughts or beliefs that aren't serving you, Aquarians. Because here in your challenges is I'm picking when the Eight of Swords is appearing in a tarot card reading, and it's coming up in your challenges, it usually comes as a warning that your thoughts and beliefs are no longer serving you, Aquarians. So and what it may ask you to be doing is perhaps you're overthinking things, perhaps you're creating negative patterns, or even that perhaps you're limiting yourself by only considering the worst case scenarios. Keep in mind, in some situations, Aquarians, you might be thinking more about the situation than you need to, and the more you think about it, the more stuck you're getting, and you may feel you don't have any options. What the universe is going to ask you, if you're feeling this, is that it's time to get out of your head and to let go of those thoughts and beliefs holding you back. Keep in mind that as you change your thoughts, you change your reality. The universe has encouraged you to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. The laws of attraction will fit here greatly, and you will need and you will start to create more favorable situations for yourself. So remember, if you think negativity, you attract negativity. And the universe is encouraging you to think the opposite and think positive thoughts. Think things that you're happy and grateful for, even no matter how small they are. Every day, look at the things that are working out for you and be thankful for them, because it will be a rippling effect. And that positivity, not the negativity, if you think positive thoughts, that positivity is going to come. You just have to change that way of thinking, and the universe is encouraging you to do so. Aquarius, the Eight of Swords here in your challenges is assuring you that there's a way out of this predicament, this feeling that you have. Um, it's about just having a new perspective, and that's sort of the theme here that I'm picking up, is about changing your perspective. Um, but it's up to you, Aquarians, to sort of use the resources that you have in a way that serves you. Um, so, and I'm also picking up here that there are others may be offering to help you. You're just not seeing it. So, seek help, or be open to help, because it's there. Um, and also keep in mind that there may be an alternative solution that you haven't fully explored. Um, this is about, Aquarians. This energy is about finding the answer rather than getting stuck on the problem. Um, Again, because Aquarians, if you're feeling trapped in and you're restricted by some sort of circumstances that are near you, um, this I'm picking up that if you're believing that your options are limited with no clear path, um, you're attracting that negativity. And this could be you're in an unfulfilling job, you're in an abusive relationship, perhaps you're experiencing a significant amount of debt, or a situation that's way out of alignment with your inner being. And yes, those things happen, but if you're now feeling trapped between that rock and a hard place, and you're feeling that there's no resolution available, this is about seeing things with a different perspective. Um, you might be entrapping yourself in this sort of negativity without even realizing it. Because keep in mind, um, when you look at this card here, particularly with the Eight of Swords, the swords here symbolize sort of a jail. However, look at the big space in between each one of these. And there's this individual here. If this individual may be feeling trapped, which is what the message is. However, but these gates here, these swords that look like a jail, they're very wide open. You can get out of any one of those, and that's the symbolism of this card, is that you're restricting yourself, but you can get out of this sort of locked behavior easily by just changing your frame of mind. You're not as trapped as you think you are, Aquarians. So again, all you have to do is sort of, lift your head up, remove your blindfolds, and basically free yourself from these self-imposed bindings that are holding you back. Because I'm picking up that these typically are self-imposed feelings, or issues that you're feeling stuck about, and you have the power to change them. And the universe is encouraging you to change them. I'm also picking up, again, with the Eight of Swords here, if you're feeling confused, Aquarians, about whether you should stay or go in a particular situation, particularly if you're in a challenging situation, um, you know, this could be whether you're in an unsatisfactory job and yet you don't have another job to go to, or you're limiting your skills, or you're in an unsatisfactory relationship but you can't afford to move on your own. Those sort of things. You know, it's understandable that things may not be as clear cut as you would like, and it's understandable that making a decision can be very difficult. Um, but however, it is about the laws of attraction. If you have one foot in, hoping that things can work out, and you have the other foot out the door, ready to leave, then you're sort of torn between that, again, as I said earlier, that rock and a hard spot, because you're spending a lot of time worrying about the what if I stay, what if I go, but that's sort of keeping you stagnant. And it also can create even further negative consequences for you, as long as you remain stuck where you are. So with this card showing up in your challenges, this is your challenge. You're being asked, to get out of your head and drop down into your gut and use your intuition, so you can hear what your inner guidance is telling you. Your thoughts are not serving you right now, but your intuition is. And the message here from the universe is to trust yourself and trust your intuition, and you will make the right decision, and things will go forward for you, Aquarians. And finally, in our outcomes, we have here justice. Interesting. Angel and Spirit Guides, please help us understand why the Justice card is in our outcomes for our Aquarians during this time period, please. Well, Aquarians, if there's some decisions to be made here, that's the overall energy. Keep in mind that the Justice card usually is going to appear when you need to make an important choice, um, and it usually has to do with the potential for long-term repercussions. So, the choice that you make is encouraging you to be aware of the impact of your decisions that you have on your well-being and the well-being of others. Whatever decision that you make, choose consciously by connecting with your inner guidance and your intuition, which is crucial here, as we said earlier, because you're being asked to answer what is the most alignment with the greatest good for all. So whatever decision you make, you're being asked that what is the best decision for everybody, not just for you, and that's something to consider here, because it's important that you do a decision that is in alignment with the highest good. So this doesn't mean there's any right or wrong answer here. It's just saying, the energy I'm picking up here is just saying, Aquarians, that be ready to stand by your decisions, as you will be held accountable for the choices that you make. And in order to do this, you have to ask yourself, not rely on petty emotions or hurt or anything else. This is about, asking yourself, do I stand on my decisions and accept the consequences for my actions? If you cannot, then you're being asked to dig deeper and plunging into your empty soul, because and asking yourself what is right or wrong. This is not about acting on petty issues. This is a long-term sort of decision that has a major impact for you. So it's going to encourage you that until you find the right place where you can stand and make a decision, because you want to make this decision based on your integrity and your strength, and that's the success that you're going to have with this. Because keep in mind, Aquarians, when you get the Justice card in your outcomes, this is about a search for truth. So you may be exploring your truth, and you're going to discover that things are not as clear-cut as you might have thought, and you're going to be encouraged to sort of go into muddy waters and gray areas and explore what the truth means to you. This card is encouraging you to be consciously aware, Aquarians, about what you believe in to be true and what you believe to be fair and ethical. And it's reminding you that, however, whatever you may perceive or you think, things are not always as clear-cut as they appear or as you think. So this is about being prepared to challenge yourself and to explore new territories of your belief system. I'm also picking up that, again, for some of you, if you're involved in literally a legal issue, a court issue, something that has to do with the law, this card is coming forward here for those that are involved in a legal issue, that you're going to be called to account for your actions, and the universe is going to judge you accordingly. The message for you here, Aquarians, is that if you've acted in alignment with your highest good and your actions were for the greater good of others, you have nothing to worry about. However, keep in mind that if you haven't acted in your greatest good, and you weren't doing things above par, you're going to be called out, and you're going to be made to own up to your actions. This is the Justice card, and this is what it's about in legal situations. So if this has you shaking in your boots, know that the Justice card isn't as black and white as you may think. That there is a level of compassion and understanding that accompanies this Justice card. And so for some of you, if you may have not, if you've done something that you regret, this card suggests that you'll be treated fairly and without bias. However, be ready to take responsibility for your actions and stand accountable for the consequences. For those of you who have been wronged in the legal system, keep in mind that the Justice card is also a positive sign for you, and it also says that justice will be served. So if you're part of a legal case, or you've been waiting for a final judgment from the courts or a governing body or institution, a ruling will be passed down shortly. Once the decision is made, you must accept it and move on. There are no retrials, second chances with the upright Justice card. But keep in mind, if you were wronged, this Justice card will make things right, and that's good to know. So that's the major outcomes I'm picking up here on personal justice and legal court justice. So there you have it, Aquarians. So thank you very much for watching this video if you got this far. And again, as I stated earlier, if you would like to, Aquarians, support this channel, I greatly would appreciate it, and to help me move ahead within YouTube algorithms, it's important to click on what I call the big three, and that's click to like the video, click to subscribe to my channel, and click on the notification button. If you've already done that, thank you so much. I gratefully appreciate it. If you haven't, please consider. Aquarians, please feel free to leave a comment if you felt any part of this reading was applicable to you. And again, if parts of it or none of it resonated with you, understand it's totally okay. It is a general reading, and let it go. And it just wasn't meant for you at this time. So I appreciate it. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday season and a safe one. Think positive thoughts, and we'll all do well. So thank you again, and we will see you in January. Happy holidays.